When we talk about the future, artificial intelligence, robotics, and such things, we have what I call the popular mechanics dilemma. Remember those magazines from the 50s and 60s in which it was predicted we'd have mail delivered by rocket ship and robots cleaning our homes? Well, we do have some smart appliances in homes, and we may soon get mail delivered by drones. Here's a great book, The Fourth Age. Mackenzie Institute is interested in safety and security in the future. For Throwback Thursday, take a look at how young people are using contests to get familiar with robotics and design. Hello, I'm Alan Bonner. For years, educators have been worried about whether we have enough students in engineering and science programs. Some say that graduating students in these areas is one of the best ways to be globally competitive. A public and private program called FIRST Robotics Canada, started in 2001, addresses this concern. FIRST means for inspiration and recognition of science and technology. If we can start with you, Karen, how do you get involved in the program? What is it? What are the prizes, benefits, etc.? And then we'll move over to the expert students who are actually in it.
Okay. Well, teams get involved by registering online with FIRST in the United States, and they do that usually in October. Then they start learning about some of the basic components of robotics, electronics, pneumatics, that type of thing. And then in January, they find out what their game is, and then they have 6 weeks to design, build, and test their robot for a competition that'll happen in March.
Now, the U.S. connection is this great inventor who invented the Segway, right?
That's right, it's Dean Kamen, that's right. He came up with this idea in, I believe, 1991. And his rationale was that he'd like to change the culture of North America, where we revere innovators instead of just the rock stars and the sports heroes.
Okay, so you've got the task, you've got the parameters that you can't exceed, then what do? Equipment, so on.
We start with our design process. So we'll start with brainstorming on the whiteboard, coming up with whatever we can. We use strategic planning to come up with what the best strategy we could come up with. Then we'll use something called AutoCAD. So it's something that real engineers do. It's something that the mentors help us a lot out with. So we get to make a 3D image of what we think our robot will look like. From there, we get our CAD drawings. We take it to a company. We can find out exactly what parts we need, how we can get them, and
what kind of drawings are those?
Drawings, they're 3D images of what.
So that's CAD, computer-assisted design?
Yes.
Drawings, okay. You've raised something I want to quiz Tanya on. You know, I interview adults, usually men, who use the term strategic planning, and they don't really know what it means. And they get embarrassed when they can't tell me what it means. What's it mean?
Strategic planning? Well, in terms of robotics, it means planning what you're going to do in terms of the rules. So I guess, to put it into short, just having like an outside view from it, like not going straight into things. Because a lot of teams, what they do is when they learn the rules, they're so excited and they just get straight into building their robot. If you have a strong plan to do it, then things run more smoothly, you run into less problems. And
that's a better definition than I usually get. Good for you. All right, I'm not entirely through understanding all the processes, Karen, but you eventually hold a competition. It's in public. People can go see it. These robots perform. Tell me about that, where that happens and how that works.
Well, in Canada, we have 2 competitions. One weekend it's at the Waterloo University. It's called the Waterloo Regional. This year I believe that's the 16th to 18th of March. And then we have one in the Greater Toronto area at the Hershey Centre in Mississauga, and that's the 26th to 28th of March.
And here are the robots playing with a giant basketball, right, or a Pilates ball?
It's a 40-inch diameter ball. This was last year's competition, and the goal was to get that ball over a 6.5-foot overpass, and then to do laps. So in this last year's game was more like NASCAR than most of our other games were.
Adults always want to know the money. I mean, do they get prizes? Do they get job offers? What's the payoff?
They don't get money as prizes. They get trophies. But a lot of students have got job offers. And in fact, our model is one that encourages companies to work with students and then hire them as co-op students from university and work with them that way, and then eventually hire them into the labor force.
Do you have any statistics for me? You've been at it 10 years in Canada. How many go on to a technical education or go on to jobs where this is a good preparation?
I don't have numbers, but we had an independent survey done a few years ago by Brandeis University in the States, And what they find is 2/3 of the students from robotics teams go on to careers in engineering and technology, 2/3 more than what from a core sample group.
Do you lobby the ministries of education for support?
We lobby not so much the Minister of Education, but the Minister of Research and Innovation, and they've been very supportive in the past.
But only one province contributes money.
That's true, and part of that is that we're a fairly lean organization that was started in Ontario, and we just don't have the finances or the personnel to get out to the other provinces.
Because I don't know of a politician who doesn't speak about the value of science and technology in our educational system, a premier, an industry minister, an education minister, a colleges and universities minister. Somebody like you could tell them, well, fine, put up or shut up. Put it in the curriculum, give us some money.
Absolutely. Last year I attended a number of conferences where they spoke about the lack of enrollment in computer science programs and computer engineering programs. And when we met to talk about why that happened, people kept saying, well, we need hands-on, real-life, inspirational activities. And I just wanted to say, well, here we are. We're providing that opportunity to the students. We just need more people to realize that.
Let me just go to one more robot question, because remember, I introduced myself as when I was a kid, I was really interested in robots. Tanya, one of the definitions of robot is something that looks human. And perform certain human functions. And it is the Japanese who are particularly fascinated with that type of a robot. The one that you built looks like it has arms. It can pick something up, but it doesn't really take on a human form. Did you folks discuss the form that a robot takes and the difference between robots that just do a function and robots that look like a human being?
Well, yes, I guess the robots that we build are more to perform like a task, like as players in a game. So I guess in a sense they are human because just like a sport where you would have to throw a basketball in a net, the robot has to pick up a ball and put it over an overpass. So I guess in that sense it's human-like.
Did that come up in your thoughts, Amelia?
Yeah, it's like designing a professional athlete. Like if you want a good football player, you want someone big and strong, or if you want someone to be able to, a robot to pick up a large ball, you want it to be able to have a strong manipulation system.
We repeat over and over again, we in the media who come to talk about educational issues, that we have to have science and technology education, keeps us competitive, etc. Except one of the largest industries in the world is Hollywood movies. One of the biggest contributors to the GDP in Great Britain is 60s rock and roll bands who are still selling their music. You guys probably listen to it.
Absolutely.
So, I mean,
we play it at our competitions.
Is this really the key to competitiveness and a better life and a better future for our societies, or is it just a game?
Oh, I don't think it's just a game. I think that our world is changing very rapidly, that we're all looking for a better quality of life. Those things will come through innovation and through entrepreneurism, and I think this program tries to inspire kids to be involved in that way.
Until next time, I'm Alan Bonner. Thanks for watching. Any views expressed here are not necessarily those of the Mackenzie Institute, its speakers, sponsors, or supporters. But the Institute is dedicated to fostering public discussion, debate, and education about security matters. Google the Mackenzie Institute to join the discussion. The Mackenzie Institute is grateful to its sponsors and supporters. Some of our short pods and long talks are a result of the support of Heathbridge Capital Management Limited, the National Post, and Dundurn Publishing.